Iraq intends to increase the International Monetary Fund by equivalent of 1.45 trillion dinar. They pay off their debt, inflation is down, interest rates have dropped, foreign currency reserves have increased, 152.6 tons of gold. Does that sound like a country that's still going to stay at 1,310 with their exchange rate? My contact told me not to expect any move forward with the project to delete the zeros until this new Trump administration signals they will fully support it and the process and move to the end of the process, which is, as we all know, the reinstatement. Remember, we don't go to the bank until the reinstatement back on Forex occurs, the end of the process. They were praising Sudani on the television on what he has done in our last 2 years. We all were going crazy because it's fantastic stuff, everything that he has done. Remember what Shabibi said back in the day when he was alive: in order for the rate to change, Iraq must have both stability and security. Frank, these are the telltale signs. This is the evidence that you seek. This is a 3-day weekend for Veterans Day. Marks, there is a lot of anticipation for this weekend. On the 10th there's going to be a collision of some very important heavy particles that require the monetary reform exchange rate. On the 10th they're all coming into a collision. I think they're going to give birth to new elements, maybe lower notes, maybe a float. Maybe the digitization of the electronic float. A lot of things might be happening, but not before the 10th of this month. Al-Fatlawi, the population census enumeration and numbering process exceeded 98% throughout Iraq. Quote, he indicated that the census will be conducted on its scheduled date on November 20th. They're going to need to expose their exchange rate so they can get on the Forex and they can open the doors, so they can start paying for all those obligations. We know auctions for US dollars are due to stop this year. They have been very clear on that. From both the governor of the central bank and al-Sudani. The auctions right now are taking trillions of dinar out of circulation, which increases the purchasing power of their currency. It is a clear preparation for a change in value. Citibank and JP Morgan have been in Iraq for years. They've been working with the CBI. They've been working very closely with the digital platform for the foreign currency that will be coming in, because there is no more foreign currency inside of Iraq. Although Iraq is now a currency hub, Iraq phased out the American dollar and all foreign currency in order for the dinar to be their dominant sovereign currency of their nation. Because of this action, the dinar is no longer paired to the USD, but it is paired with a basket of foreign currency. This is very good for the monetary reform policy. Where are we? They have not seen the budget. But we have seen something very interesting that encourages me now to talk about the budget. A new article is an absolute doozy as far as I'm concerned, because it's telling us quite a lot. It's telling us that Sunday the 10th of November is cultural day, when Iraq thinks about its great thinkers, feats of engineering, its natural beauty, its wonders and its historic wealth, this great nation which was the foundation for much in the world. This celebration is on Sunday. They moved it forward from its traditional date of the 18th. They're saying they moved it because of the census. They moved it forward to Sunday. More and more each day videos from CBI being played on TV about the electronic platform system, saying how we are moving over and how the dinar is now stable and now stronger than ever, how the dinar will return to the glory days. Frank, oh my God. These are the right people we want to hear from. These are the right words that we want to hear from these people. They're telling them these things emo because they already have. All this is just the introduction. There is no bad news. We still seem to be in the RV news doldrums. Which I think is fantastic, because of who is quiet. I see the light at the end of the tunnel now. The news out of Iraq has been overwhelming positive. Political movements continue to pass controversial laws. especially the general amnesty and personal status, as the coordination framework is heading towards an agreement between its poles to extend the legislative term of the House of Representatives, which is what actually happened after the presidency of the Council, led by Mahmoud al-Moshadani, announced the extension of the legislative term for a month in order to settle the disputed laws and find a consensus formula to mature these laws in preparation for presenting them for a vote within the Council. Despite the legal differences in terms of wording, content and details in general, the political move by the framework comes in order to decide on the legislation of the two laws during the period of extending the legislative term. However, there are fears of passing a general amnesty and including terrorists whose hands are stained with the blood of Iraqis in this law, which is something rejected by some components that are still demanding the rights of their children as a result of the massacres committed by the terrorist ISIS in their areas.